Well, all right, welcome back to the Tumbler, and today we've gone through 3 days of the second level grit, and you can see it's the same way. I don't know what makes it foam up like that, where it's just whipped the material in that, but I'm feeling no grit whatsoever. So we are going to, we can't see anything, so we're going to rinse all this out. And but yeah, you can see the slurry in the bottom there. It's just like a clay, very slick and smooth. So we have no grit, and this is after 3 days of the next level of the coarse grit. So let's take it over to the water section here, which is a little something over there. Got my nice pansies are blooming even in the winter time. That's that's a nice thing to have. All right, let's scrub all that down real good when we're done. See how that stuff lines the inside of the can. All that's got to make sure that it's blasted out thoroughly. And then I scrub it with the toothbrush as well to make sure we have nothing in that. We're good. This yard looks like it's just all St. Augustine, but it's actually sitting on a bed of gravel that used to be for a drive here that it's grown over. So all this stuff will just seep down through the grass and settle down between the rock bed that's about an inch underneath this. Makes it impossible to dig anything in this yard. All right, well, I think we're looking pretty good on these here, from what I can see. Like I said, you always want to make sure you keep this stuff wet in between your washes. All right, well, let's take a look here. There's our ocean picture stone that is looking pretty nice and smooth. Like I said, those little divots that were in there seem to have been washed off pretty well. That's looking good. There's our square. Again, none of these are usually what they were looking for, is any feeling of the sharp edges or cracks in the rock. Anything that's like this one right there still has a little bit of an inclusion there that's slightly rough. Same thing there. There's our piece of quartz that they had in there that's looking very cool. One of our blues. There's our agate piece. I keep calling that. I think that's what it is. But so yeah, I mean, there's our rose quartz. So I think just looking at them, I don't really know what another 2 or 3 days of polishing would really do for them, as far as that the coarser grit. You can see where that one does still have a divot in the side of that would wear down with another few days of running it through the polish. There's that tiger eye, which is looking very good. So I mean, whenever you're doing this, would you pull out ones that are already that are done, and you know, put them in there's a very nice cool looking blue in there, and put them in. Our little piece of turquoise is still with us. Even our smaller chips here that I thought would have washed away, or you know, of that Dalmatian type stone, are still with us. So nice veining in that one that's showing up. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Would I put them out and set them in water and keep them until the polishing stage? If you don't want them to grind down anymore, because a lot of these I don't want to grind down, or do I just go ahead and polish this one up as it is? Because I really like the way it's looking right now. To see if we get the nice glassy look on them. I'm just not, like I said, this is my first time on this. I don't know. But like I said, I really don't want to wash them down until there's nothing left. That's looking really cool there. So, I mean, look at them like this. That's how they're supposed to look when they're done, when the polishing is done. And I'd be happy if that, with the way these look, if they kept the shine that they're supposed to at the end in this size of a piece. So, I think we're going to do that. We're going to just wash it all down thoroughly and put it in the another soap varnish 24 hours, and then go to the polish stage on these, because like I said, they're looking pretty nice as they are right now. For me. Alright, so we're going to add our... Doesn't take much water when you get this thing full of rocks to get it. It should be right. They're supposed to be right below the level of the rock. A little out, add a little more. We're still right at it. I think that's good. Like I said, we've scrubbed it all out with the toothbrush and washed it out in the sink. Snug our lid down on there good. Attach our... Oh! No, yeah, I was thinking, okay, we got to add... I was thinking, well, damn it, I got to add the grit to it, but no, I've already got the soap in there. What we're doing, this is a soap stage, not a grit. So, yeah. So this will run for 24 hours, and we will be back. And get it on there nice and tight. Make sure that there's no leaks. Make sure that it's even all the way around, because like I said, you want it to sit on your tumbler so that it rolls. It doesn't want to pitch one way or the other. So, all right, I think we're good to go for another round, and we'll be back to rinse this thing down and see and move on to our pre-polish stage. All right, we are back in our tumble room here. We're set for one day. We'll run it, and as you can see, it's like we're balanced all right. So, all right, 24 hours. Let that soap varnish clean off any grit that might still be hanging onto these, and we will be on to our... That's the polish, then our pre-polish, yeah, that one. So, all right, off we go. Well, all right, we are back with the end of our next burnish stage here with the soap after going through our second level of grit. So we will rinse this off, and I don't see really any slurry there in the bottom. So it looks like we cleaned them off pretty good with the wash. Now we will rinse all this down very well, and get ready for the pre-polish stage. Like I said, I don't think we need to run these through the second grit to grind them down anymore, because they're pretty smooth. I'm not really feeling any rough spots on them anywhere, except for there's one of these that had a bit of a, like I said, a little bit of inclusion in the spot, but I don't think that's gonna hurt us. You can see that one's actually worn down a little bit more just in the on that little notch there. But all right, well, let's like I said, we're going to rinse these through with the hose and move on. So all right, well, we've got our rocks washed off again from the burnish stage. You can see our smaller pieces are getting down smaller, but we've already been looking at them pretty close. So we're going to go ahead and just put them in our tumbler for our next pre-polish stage. So let's go ahead. Got a stray piece there. Got to watch out, man. I took the rubber ring off the edge of this cap here because there was a little water inside there, man, and it caught my thumb. It's a very sharp edge. Thing will cut the hell out of you, so you want to be careful when you take that thing off. So we will add all of our stuff back in here. This stuff was, the main thing is you don't want to have any. There's a few flakes that are little are continuing to shrink. Turquoise there, a little piece of broken blue stone that's still in there, and that's a little fuller than we want it. And I think we want to add a bit more of our media stuff there to bring that up a little bit. So hold on. All right, so let's just add a bit more of this stuff to it, which again, what's cool about this is that whenever you're done with this stuff, you can clean it up, rinse it off, and reuse it in your other next tumbler batch. So we'll see how long these things hold up, but they're supposed to basically last quite a long time. So all right, now knock my pan off or my water. Hold on. All right, well, we've got our water right below the level there. I got this thing kind of tilted so it's showing up better in the camera. But so like before, we're going to add our pre-polish that we got from National Geographic. Each one of these comes with 1 tablespoon in it. I'd seen somewhere before about using less, like they used less polish. Well, see, this stuff looks very different from our pre-polish on this bag. I'm not too zoomed in. Now I'm wondering about combining these, because you can see that pre-polish looks a lot more powdery compared to, damn, sorry about that. That's I can't stop the bleeding on that. But yeah, this like I said, that looks like a much grittier pre-polish than what we have here. I don't know about combining that, because that is a smaller, finer polish grit. So like I was saying, I'd seen before where it seemed like it called for using less of this stuff than your polishing grits, your first heavier grits. But whenever you got into the polishing stage, but This stuff is really, I could have cut a bigger hole in the top of this, but we're just putting the whole thing in anyway, so we know it's a, I just used the tablespoon to show. So this has actually got a bit more than a tablespoonful in it. But yeah, some of the things show to use 1 tablespoon per pound of rock. Even on the other grits, some of them show to use 2 tablespoons per pound of rock. But like I said, I had seen one, I thought, where they used less polished grit than they did of the the first 2 stages of grit. So, as like I said, not wanting to combine these because they are, obviously this one is not as fine as this one. So we will we'll go with this, with the 1 tablespoon. I guess it helps we put it on and put it back on in the right order. And so we want to make sure that our edges are cleaned off so that there's no grit to compromise the seal of the lid when it gets down there. And then we seat it all back down so it's tight all the way around the edge there. Replace the screw and head back in. We are back at our tumbler with our step 3 ready to kick off. Press it down where it's centered in the middle there. We are going to be running this one now for the 4 days with the this level of grit in it, and then we'll check it and maybe go with the rinse it out and add the next finer polish, pre-polish to it when we get through this. But we're going to let this one run for 4 days, which will be the longest I've done it so far at a time, because those other grits wore away so fast. But since again this is the polishing stage, hopefully it will maintain. So what are you doing? Everybody wants to see what's going on, right, Hurricane? It's my boy. All right, well, we are set for our 4-day timer. It is a set it and forget it kind of thing. Keep it on. Make sure that we are, you see, we're not pushing on either side. We're balanced right in the middle. I've got my little shim piece here that keeps it where it stays level. Which actually looks like we might need to add just a little more lift to this one side because it's wanting to kind of creep over, it looks like. There we go. Now you see it back off. Well, you can't see it, but it backs off the grommet over here on this side, so you got that play in it on each side. So like I said, it takes a little bit of adjustment sometimes to make sure that you're level, but also being on these like I said, I got these envelopes under here that make it for the additional padding, so it would not want to rumble. Kind of help with the vibration on the table. You touch it and you can touch it back over and see if it wants to creep or not. All right, now that's where we want to be. So perfect. Now we can just, like I said, let this run for 4 days, and it'll let us know when it's done. So thank you so much for joining us on step 3, first round of step 3, and we'll see how it progresses. I'll leave a link in the description below for part 1 in case this video does not let me put in an end screen. Thanks for watching.